Hey everybody, how's it going? Rich from Elk Endeavors here, and I have my daughter with me.
Hi, my name's Evie.
It's my daughter Evie, and tonight we're going to be talking about creating content. Evie, do you like to write?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And it's fun because that's very important if you're going to be a content creator for affiliate marketing or for anything really. You kind of have to know how to write first of all, but it really helps if you like to write. Right. So before we get started, I wanted to just ask you to again, bless you. Make sure that you follow our channel, follow my channel. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a comment. Let me know how we're doing. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about what I'm doing and how I do these things. And give me a thumbs up. All the YouTube stuff. I'm working real hard for you. And if you return the favor by dropping me a comment and a like, it'll help YouTube find me and get me out to more people and hopefully help as many people as I possibly can. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. But yeah, so creating content is really important for affiliate marketers, right? So when you're thinking about your content, it's really hard at first because you don't know what you're supposed to talk about, right? Because as a budding affiliate entrepreneur, you don't really know what you're doing, and it's sort of weird to think that you're like going to all of a sudden start creating content when you don't know what you're talking about. But really, you do, and I've talked about this before, where you have like to someone who's got 6 days, like someone who's into the I promote the 4% success challenge. And so I always talk about that. So if someone's 6 days into the 4% success challenge, I'm now 9 months into the 4% success challenge, right? But even when I was only, even when I was only 3 months in, right? I could still sort of place myself as the expert. As the expert to the person who only had 6 days, right? Because I have more knowledge than them, right? So like when I had 6 days, I mean when I had 3 months, I had more than the person that had 6 days. And now that I'm 9 months, I have more knowledge than someone who's 3 months in, right? So I have the ability to offer. So my suggestion here is that you don't worry about creating content until it's time, right? And you'll know it's time because you'll have finished or at least be pretty far into the 4% success challenge, or you'll have started making money through affiliate marketing. And that's when you start documenting your journey about like, okay, this is what I did and this is how I was successful, and these like all you document your tiny successes. That's what you're documenting, right? Oops. So you're documenting your journey. And that's ultimately what this is all about, right? And that's what I'm doing. And Russell Brunson and Vic Stryjus and I'm listening to a new guy named Drew. I'll have to look it up. He's the hardcore closer. If you look at his podcast, he's awesome. I really enjoy his podcast. But he's got a really awesome story. You should go to his podcast, Hardcore Closer. It's easy to find. But anyway, like they're all talking about documenting your journey and creating content. And that's how important that is. But you really can't create content until you're ultimately ready for it, right? And so that's what you're going to be ready for when once you get like a couple months in, you make your first sale, you document all those types of things. So what I'm going to talk about now is writing. So once you like decide that you're okay, I'm going to create content now. What is it that you're going to create, right? So you have you think about it, like I've been on YouTube for 9 months now, but over the past, I think I think I have about 110 days in a row that I have created a video, right? That's for me, that's really like impressive. To myself, I'll toot my own horn, but ultimately, like 100 days in a row, 110 days in a row, trying to make a video. Some days it's easy, but most days it's really difficult to get to, right? And that's okay because I love doing it. I love what I'm doing. But if I didn't like it, it would be tough, right? I'm into 120 days on my blog, right? So 120 days on my blog from my blog. And so that's a lot of content. But the cool thing is that this is the same content, Okay. And so, like I've talked about, like the video, often, like tonight, I haven't written my blog post yet, right? But so tonight, my video is sort of my rehearsal for my blog. And sometimes my blog is my rehearsal for my video. But they're ultimately on the same content and on the same topic. So that's helpful if you're gonna try to do this, or if you're gonna do it right. And it's really essential. Like if you're gonna do any sort of affiliate marketing, people have to get to know you. They have to get to know your voice. They have to get to know your mannerisms. And I couldn't like. There's no way if someone has been following me for 110 days. There's no way that they can that I can fake it. Right, like I can't like put on a show for people for 110 days in a row and like have them believe me. So you know who I am. Like you through my mannerisms, like I'm using my hands here. My daughter's laughing at me. Because I'm using my hands, and it's like I'm talking to an actual person when I'm actually talking on a screen. And so that that's just me, right? So you have to help people get to know you through video, through your writing, etc. So here we're gonna get to. So I'm gonna ask Evie a question, and I almost guarantee I know the answer. So Evie, have you ever had a point where you don't know what to write?
Yeah.
What's that like?
It feels like I just been trying to come up with ideas, and I just don't know where to go.
Okay. So what do you do?
I just ask people what to write.
Okay.
So maybe but sometimes if I don't like the idea, then I still don't know what I'm gonna write.
Okay, so let me pause you there for a second. So hint here, YouTube fans of mine. She asks people what to write about, right? So I am asking you for content ideas. So if you have something you want me to talk about, let me know and I will talk about it. So go ahead, Evie. That was a shameless plug, by the way. There you go. All right, go ahead.
Sometimes I also do that with drawing. Like I'll do the same exact thing but with the drawing.
Okay.
Because sometimes I just look at my blank paper or my blank line paper and I'll be like, what am I gonna do?
Okay.
And I just kind of sit there for a while and just try to think of ideas. And if I can't do it in for 5 minutes, I'll ask someone. But then if I don't like their idea, then I'm just back in my room sitting.
Okay.
Trying to.
All right.
So when I don't know what to write, I need to have an idea in my head before I write it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm not gonna be sitting there for 20 minutes, thinking.
Okay. All right. So here I'm gonna push back on you a little bit, and I'm gonna argue with you on that. Okay. So I'm not actually gonna argue with you on the YouTube here. But what I would say is when you don't know what to write. Okay. So I do this thing. I'm a writer, right? And I do this thing called a discovery draft. So all you YouTube people, when you were in high school and you were in middle school, whatnot, you were always asked to do a rough draft of a paper, correct? Like everyone just kind of shake their head and nod their head. Okay, so you were asked to do a rough draft of a paper, and what that meant was if the paper was due on Thursday, the rough draft was due on Friday. You would be up till midnight. You'd write a bunch of nonsense on a piece of paper and hand it in, and that was your rough draft. And it's completely served no purpose. There was nothing to it. There was no reason for you to do it except to get the points to turn it in, right? So I created what I call a discovery draft, right? And what that is a very important document. It's actually the first in a series. But when I don't know what to write, I will sit and I will just write. I'll just talk about my day. I'll talk about affiliate marketing. I'll talk about whatever it is I'm trying to write. And I will literally say I will type. If I'm typing or if I'm writing, I usually type because I'm a much better typist than I am a writer. In terms of thinking, I will literally write. I don't know what. Whoops. I don't know what to write. And I guarantee you that if you do that enough, if you write a page full of I don't know what to write, you're going to come up with something to write, right? And it's just the thinking of the repetitive thinking that kind of gets you in the zone that helps you get to write something, right? So for today's post, I was thinking, most of the time I usually come up with as I'm talking through a post or writing a post, I come up with an idea, at least 2 or 3 ideas for the next couple of days. But I didn't over the last couple of days. So tonight I was kind of like today. I was kind of like this morning. I was thinking about it. And finally I realized like, well, I can talk about like how I come up with stuff, right? And so that's what I call the discovery draft, right? Is when you're thinking about like how you come up with ideas, how you discover all the ideas are in your head. They're all in your brain, right? And we'll talk. Psycho-cybernetics tells us that, right? Everything's already in your brain. It's already out there in the air. It's just a matter of harnessing and bringing it in, right? And so if you write a discovery draft, you're able to harness that power and figure out what to write. So that's how I came up with this idea of writing about creating content, right? Because we all need to figure out how to create content, and we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about, especially if we're publishing every day. Now, we don't. Most people don't publish every day. I'm publishing every day until I get really good traction on my YouTube channel and my blog, and it's starting to come. But it definitely would help if if you followed me and liked me and shared my videos. But ultimately, like, in order to start a YouTube channel, you just have to push content out. You have to push, and get it done. And it'll come, right? And so I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see the results. But it's a long time coming. It's hard work. And I appreciate everyone who's listening and watching. But I wanted to talk about how I create content and what I do in writing. Like when I don't know what to write, I write a discovery draft. And when I don't know, and today for the first time, I use the discovery draft method to create content for you as an affiliate entrepreneur like myself. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope that was helpful. Evie, did it help you at all in terms of what you're going to write?
Yeah.
You going to use a discovery draft?
Yeah.
We can talk afterwards a little bit more like about how that's going to work. But yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I really appreciate you watching. Drop me a like, drop me a thumbs up, follow me, share my stuff. Let people know what I'm doing. If you think that I can help them in any way, let people know because I want to help people as much as I possibly can. And I also want to grow my channel. So I'm working hard here. I really want to, to grow this channel so that I can help as many people as I possibly can. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. And I don't know yet about what, so maybe I'll have to do another discovery draft tonight. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.